Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another small atmospheric ship that once again puts the flat atmospheric thrusters to very good use, but this time this comes as a collectible for you to choose to take out of the box and use, or leave it on the side collecting dust. This is the Vega H-100, which is this lovely thing that I'm currently standing inside of. So what we got is, like I said, a very small atmospheric ship that looks very sleek, very futuristic with its overall design. Essentially a hover car, and then we've got this lovely box that sits inside. We've got some labels around the outside saying Vega, look to the future, and of course we've got by the creator, which is on the inside of this wall. In fact, we're going to take a look at that right now. So that is the creator's name. We'll get a better look at that when we actually go through the F10 menu in just a moment. Yes, all this is a fully functional vehicle that sits in a box. You take out, you use it, and it's all perfectly fine, upgradable, and usable in survival mode. So what we're going to do is have a look around the outside and the inside of this box, and then we're going to go move over to the vehicle which I've separated right over there. We'll get a better look at that, drive around for a bit, and see how it handles straight out the box. So anyway, back over to here, pressing F10, finding this in the spawn menu, the Vega H-100 is a whopping 3,075 small blocks, but that is because of the sheer box that comes inside. It does use these Sparks of the Future, Warfare 2 and Wasteland DLC packs. We've got no other information whatsoever, but it does not use mods, it does not use any scripts. And we'll just give this a thumbs up and we'll start right over here. So over here is the front of the box where we can see our product on the inside, the Vega H-100. And it's all surrounded by these lovely light blue blocks and these grey blocks with a few layer blocks here and there, which we've already talked about. Then move around onto this side, we then got some neon tubes in once again a light blue colouring that does look fantastic in the night time, but take a look at that. We actually finished going around the outside of this box, now actually switch it to night time. Over here once again got Vega with more neon tubes. Around towards the very back here, this one looks absolutely spectacular in the dark, so we use this sci-fi skin on some armoured panels to spell out Vega. Going to do that right now, so over to here, changing it to night time. And if I can actually find night time, there we go. Now that's simply what it looks like. A lovely blue hue comes off this thing, then onto the opposite side, the neon tubes, around towards the front where the car is actually sitting, and there we are. It is a bit brighter than normal because the skybox is, well, lighting up the entire area, and there will be a link to that skybox in the description below if you are interested in it. But as for that, that's the outside of the box, so putting the camera all the way through, here we go. So over to there we see more neon tubes going up and around, right next to the creator's name. Down to here once again, our sci-fi skin makes a return, as well as some black steel blocks go all the way along the bottom of this thing, with some interior lights which is causing that whole glow around this box. Moving all the way along, and, well, coming down a little bit so we don't go through the ceiling. Over here past the car, ignoring the car completely. There we go, there's the opposite side. Then looking all the way up, there's our neon tubes. And that's that for the box. So now what I'm going to do is bring the sunlight back around, we'll actually get into the main proper part of this video, which is the vehicle itself. So jetpacking all the way over, in fact, why was I even bring my character over? I just need a free camera there, and here is the vehicle. Yes, at the very front of this vehicle, what we've got are some blue neon tubes, which do look fantastic once again when they light up at night. To the left and right down, we then got our fan atmospheric thrusters, which are the only form of thrusters that appear on this, and does handle very well, and you can even do some sick drifts if you want to stop this thing a lot quicker, but I will show you that a bit later on. Anyway, down below there, we've got two wasteland spotlights to light up the darkness. Then up there, a bunch of window blocks where we can see our little control seat to drive this thing around in. And to get inside this thing, we do have some windows missing on the side, so we just have to angle the camera slightly to be able to hop up and get into that chair. Then we come around on the side here, so there's that fan atmospheric thruster right there. Round towards the bottom, we've got a couple more for our left and right. Over to here, there's the gap in the windows to be able to get inside that seat. And of course we can get a slightly better look at the inside here, but we'll actually get a proper look when we actually sit in these seats. Anyway, put away from this, move around towards the back of this thing, or the back of the side. Two more atmospheric thrusters. Then got some more black and white steel blocks, just making up the main body of the vehicle. Then around towards the very back of this thing, here we go, so we've got no lights. Instead, we've got some red neon tubes, just act as a massive brake light at the back. That once again does look fantastic at night. If we move up slightly, we can see an access panel for our nuclear reactor, which is one or two ways to power this thing. But the other way is going to be a warfare battery, which is right behind our cockpit. So if we move all the way forwards, come all the way down these raised little parts right here. Here is where our warfare battery is sitting. If we look all the way down, we see a large atmospheric thruster, a large flat atmospheric thruster, which is one of two to keep us off the ground. And we will be utilising them to slow ourselves down a lot quicker, because this thing does not have great stopping time by itself if you're just flying horizontally. So you can just tilt this thing around and do a little drift, make it stop almost instantly. Anyway, on the left and right hand side, we see a couple more atmospheric thrusters. Then pulling all the way up once again, looking over to this part, here's where our seat is sitting. Then out the front there, we've got a couple LCD screens to tell us what's going on. There's our other large atmospheric thruster for the very front of this vehicle to keep us off the ground. Then all the way down underneath there, whoop, that was a bit too far. But yes, we see our two large atmospheric thrusters to keep us off the ground. On this dark grey section, that one block which is slightly different is the bottom of our cockpit, so we can, if we really needed to, say the vehicle is slightly off the ground and you don't have the jetpack fuel to get all the way up and inside it, you can access the seat from that part to be able to get up and inside. The lightish grey-blue blocks you also see on the top and the bottom of this vehicle are light panels, which is what's going to cause the neon futuristic glow as you drive this thing around and of course turn power on. We'll see that in just a moment. But with that, I believe that is basically it, the outside of the Vega H-100, and looks bloody fantastic with how it's all been set up. I absolutely love this overall design of the flying futuristic car. Looks like something out of Futurama, or even just like a cyberpunk setting. I do like how it comes in a little box for you to decorate around your base, and of course you have to break it out of the packaging to actually be able to use it. So what I'm going to do now is just grab hold of my character once again, drop him all the way down, come up to this little gap in the window, there we go, hopping inside, first person view, and then putting on the power, there we go, that should light up everything around the outside. So there we are, there's the light at the back there, there's our light panels where we can see the slight glow against the sand. Then in first person view, our LCD screen telling us our horizon, our hydrogen power usage, then the opposite side, our weather, which is currently clear. We're going to turn that on, move all the way up, here we go. Let's just bring the camera all the way down underneath it once again. So there is our light panels, and the front there's our lovely blue neon tubes along the sides. And there we are, that. So as for the actual controls of this thing, we've got number 1, number 2, number 3 for our atmospheric thrusters all the way around this, where, as per usual, number 1, number 2 is going to be for your thruster override to put you into a little bit of a cruise. Number 3 is then to turn on and off your atmospheric thrusters at the front, so moving forwards, we won't slow down. Turn that on will come to a stop, press number 4, that's going to be to turn off all your thrusters around the vehicle, and you will come crashing down to the ground very quickly with this thing. And number 5 for your batteries to auto recharge, number 6 is then for your reactor to turn on and off, and also to turn off the reactor. As you can see, we can still fly this thing around, it's all perfectly fine, no issues whatsoever, but you would want to have that reactor with uranium inside to recharge this thing up, because there is no way to connect this up to your base, because there is no connector or merge block or anything else like that. Although speaking of merge blocks, there is technically a merge block on this, which is what you use to connect up to the actual box right next to me. But I very quickly hop out of this and come around to, I believe it was this one. So over here below the vehicle, we do have a merge block on the steel block that connects up to the vehicle. But I grinded away that steel block because it did look quite odd having it protrude out from the bottom of the vehicle. So it does technically have a merge block below it. Does look quite ugly if you were to leave it on the vehicle, if you were, say, just driving this thing around and not leaving it in the box. Anyway, coming back up to this vehicle and hopping inside, there we go, and returning back to our controls. Oh, we've got nothing else, so it is time to drive this thing around to see how it handles. So lifting up slightly, here we go, moving forwards, this is the speed we get, and we have some very respectable speed, but it's not the fastest thing in the world. We really cannot escape any kind of vanilla drones with this thing, because they can generally keep up with this thing. And then coming to a stop, as you expect, is basically the same. But because we have our two large atmospheric thrusters below the vehicle, what I talked about at the start of the video, and not too long ago, we can move forwards, and we'll just tilt the vehicle all the way around and do this. There we go. Now we stop almost instantly. It takes a little bit getting used to, but it does work very well if you are charging along towards your base, and you do risk slamming into it because you can't stop in time. So doing that one more time, how we're doing in first person view, we'll come up to about 60-70 meters per second. So we're now 50, 70, in fact that'll do quite nicely, we're now tilted, do that, and we can go all the way onto our side like so, that should stop us a lot quicker, there we are. There is a little bit of risk when you go all the way onto your side, because as you can see there, it can't keep itself up in the air, but because of the actual power from it, because of the actual weight this thing is quite light, it'll take you quite a long time to actually come all the way down to the ground and actually damage the vehicle. Lifting up slightly once again, turning it on its side, and there we go, it does take quite some time to come all the way down to the ground. And if you are risking hitting into the ground, you can always just flip it all the way upright, and there we are, we just stop basically instantly. And then as for gyroscope controls, compared to the actual thrusters on this thing is exceedingly light and feels very much like paper. There is no weight on this whatsoever. We can simply flick this around in all directions, it does not matter. And despite us not having any thrusters above us to actually move us down, and of course to keep us off the ground when we're upside down, we just keep spinning this thing around, it does not matter. But as for that, that's pretty much it for what the Vega H-100 has to offer. It's a bloody fantastic looking vehicle, does look absolutely fantastic when driving around at night. You could even use this on, say, the city planet, which is basically a planet where the voxels have been shaped up to be like tall buildings. You can even do a bit of role-playing on that planet using this vehicle, have a dystopian future, a cyberpunk future, if that's what you want. But as it stands, it's a lovely little vehicle to drive around in your world, in survival mode, in creative mode, or whatever you want to do. Plenty of places on this to upgrade it with stuff you need, like guns or more cargo space, or even just a ore detector to go out and bounce scout for ore patches, but again, that's entirely up to you. And we bounced all the way. Of course, I forgot I still have voxels and block destruction turned off from where I tried out a giant meg before recording the previous video, so that's quite disappointing. So I suppose I will just end it there. This ship can't escape the fate of being destroyed by me. Anyway, as I said, it's a fantastic looking vehicle to play around with. Do love how it comes in a little box to spawn it in. Very unique and very original idea. So I'll be linked to the description below if you wish to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.